Okay, here we go. It's Easter weekend time. Good Friday fixtures. Here are our predictions. Get involved down there in the comments with yours. Sam, first, we just need to go into the recesses of your memory. What are the scores on the doors? Because we haven't competed for 2 weeks.
No, I had a little refresh this morning. 7 points for me last time out. 5 for your good self, which leaves it at 136, 128 in your favour. The big move was my 3-pointer really for West Brom to Bristol City 0. But I think that was the only one on the nose. And we were both a little bit conservative with Ipswich just to beat Sheffield Wednesday either 1-0 or 2-0. Neither of us banked on the floodgates opening there. But yeah, a relatively close margin of victory for me on this occasion, but you've still got a nice 8-point buffer.
8-point buffer going into back-to-back games. It could all change, as in the EFL, could all change in the predictions. Score yourself in the comments. If you get an outcome correct, give yourself a point. If you get the scoreline correct, therefore you get the outcome as well, add another 2 on. Give yourself 3 points for that. And your most outlandish pick, your most bold prediction, if that comes in, give it an asterisk before you play and give yourself a bonus point, so 4 points. And we did have a double bonus point. We both got our bonus points a couple of weeks ago. First time that has happened. Right. You want to go first or second, Sam?
I'll kick off, mate, please.
Bristol City versus Leicester.
Yeah, back on the horse. I think here, team, it feels like a very out of form. You could argue both teams. I think I had a little look. I can't remember how many games it was over, maybe 6 or 8. I think Leicester were down in 15th or 17th position in the form guide. So if that's anything to go by, they've been, way off the top sides in the division over the last month or two. But I think they'll be too strong for an out of sorts Bristol City. I will just go for a run-of-the-mill 2-1 away win.
I agree with you. I think it's going to be tight, though. I think both sides are going to go possession. But I think Leicester will have too much. So I'll also go for a 1-goal win, but I'll make it a 1-0. Bristol City 0, Leicester 1, which puts me up first for Millwall versus West Bromwich Albion. I might go for a bit of a surprise here. Should we back Millwall? I mean, they were in the game at 1-0 down against Leeds, weren't they? And nobody's getting anything off Leeds at the moment. They're at home. West Brom will probably have 13% possession and win 3-0 with Mikey Johnston scoring a hat-trick. But let's back the draw, Sam. Is it too boring to go 1-1 this early? I'm doing it. Millwall 1, West Brom 1.
Well, it's exactly what I was going to go for. So on the basis of that, let's go for Millwall to make it interesting for themselves. Let's go for Millwall 1, West Bromwich Albion 2.
Ooh, very interesting. I thought you were going to say 1-0 then.
No,
and you
also, they've had the highs, and then all of a sudden, possibly just get, just for a week maybe, or just for the weekend, just get drawn back into it. But they'll have too much ultimately.
Cardiff versus Sunderland. You're up first.
Well, I was there, wasn't I, at Swansea for what I thought was a very, very convincing derby win. I didn't think Cardiff turned up at all. But this is against a team really out of form. I think Cardiff are probably a different proposition at home. I'll go for Cardiff to win this, and I'll go for Cardiff to win by 1-0.
I agree with your rationale, and I'll bow to your superior knowledge, having seen Cardiff in the flesh in their very most recent game. So I'll go for it to be tight, and I'll take the 1-goal win again. You've taken the 1-0. We're so tactical against each other now. I'll go 2-1 to Cardiff, and I will move us on to Huddersfield versus Coventry. Coventry, by the way, heroic. We haven't mentioned it on the Championship Check-In podcast. Heroic FA Cup win at Wolves. I think they're going to be full of confidence. They've had a bit of a break. I think they might hit the buffers a little bit in this giant run towards the end of the season, but they're going to start it well, and they're going to win 3-1 at Huddersfield. Huddersfield 1, Coventry 3.
That's exactly what I've got as well.
Oh.
So I can't have that. Yeah, I'm thinking it's going to be something similar. I can't go for 2-1 again because I've already had 2 of them. I'll go for... I'm building a narrative that Huddersfield are going to survive on final day. So I will go for a 2-0 home defeat.
And you are up first, Sam, for Hull City versus Stoke City.
Yeah, this is tricky because Stoke didn't really come up in the conversation earlier, but they have been churning out the odd victory, haven't they, over the last, 6-8 games? Hull's home form is probably, I think, ultimately over the season going to cost them the playoff position, but I'll go for them to have too much here for Stoke. I will go for them to win by same scoreline as my previous, 2-0.
This is why it's a nightmare doing short term and long term. I've got Stoke to survive and I've got Hull not making the playoffs, but now I'm going to predict Hull to beat Stoke. It's just how I feel in the short term on this game. So yeah, I'll go with you. Poor defeat for Stoke, wasn't it? They lost 3-0 at home to Norwich. So let's go for another 3 in against them. And Sam Parkin gave you a brilliant stat on the Championship Checking podcast about Hull not winning by more than a goal. So I'll assume they're not going to win by more than a goal and go Hull 1, Stoke City 0, which brings me in first for Norwich versus Plymouth. And every week I go for Norwich to win, and they do me proud. I've got them finishing in the top 6, so I'm going to back them at home to the Argyle. They're in really good form, Norwich. Norwich 2, Plymouth 0.
I'm just thinking if I want to add more fuel to the Argyle fire that I've started this morning. I don't really want to do that. I sounded like the geezer out of Harry Enfield there, didn't I? So for that reason, I'll go for the same margin of victory as you're predicting, but I'll go for Plymouth to score. I'll go for Norwich 3, Argyle 1.
We'll just take a real quick pause for the cause there. We would love you to join in and play some match bingo over the Easter weekend. We are brought to you in association with the fine people at Match Bingo. A few fun things going on, Sam. You can play for free on the bingos as ever. That's on the EFL game. So that's just a outright, is there a goal in your game? And you've got to tick off as quickly as you can. Good Friday, Premier League on Easter Saturday, Aston Villa versus Wolves. You can play for free. And who doesn't like free if you want to get involved in there? But if you want the big money, Sam, Brentford versus Manchester United, Easter Saturday night, big TV game. £1,000 prize pot for that one. That will cost you £2 to enter. Just check off your card as you're going. Get there first. A line, 2 lines, full house. You know how to play by now. So go and get involved. A couple of free games if you want to dip your toe in the water. Big money on Brentford versus Manchester United on Saturday night. Let them know Sam and I sent you by pressing pause on this video right now and going via that QR code, and they will know that we sent you. Please play responsibly. Who's up first? It's you, Sam, on Preston versus Rotherham.
Oh, Preston versus Rotherham. Tight in terms of the scoreline, but I'm in no doubt of the outcome. I think it'll be a home win, and I think that Preston will be 1-0 for a long time and then maybe get a second late on 2-0.
Okay. I'll go for it to be more convincing then. I'm going to struggle. Rotherham are going to win a game between now and the end of the season. It will happen. It's just going to be probably quite random as to when that's going to be, and they might already be relegated by the time they win one. They're not going to win this one, in my humble opinion. I'll go 3-0 then, if you've gone 2-0. Preston 3, Rotherham 0. And this was our mouth-watering matchup, and I'm quite annoyed I'm going first on it because it's a difficult one to call. QPR versus Birmingham, which smells like Gary Rowett going in and getting a draw on his first game. Maybe the underlying data is going to go in QPR's favour Rowett gets the draw, battens down the hatches. Shall I go all in on the nil, Sam? No one's had one yet, have they? I'm doing it. Nil. QPR nil. Blues nil.
Yeah, I'm seeing a really similar type game to what you just described, but I just think QPR will knock on the door and will have too much ultimately. I think it's going to be very similar to what played out at St Andrews, but I'm going to go for QPR to find a way, maybe 70th minute or beyond, 1-0.
Sam, you saw Swansea in the flesh last week for TalkSport, wasn't it? Sheffield Wednesday versus the Swans.
Well, I mean, having seen them, they're really, really good. And yeah, you didn't envisage them having real confidence from that. But I think this is a real tricky game. However, I think Swansea may turn a bit of a corner now in terms of the performance level. I know it's the derby and all that.
They already have, haven't they? Points are coming now, aren't they?
Yeah, I just think I saw, the makings of what Luke Williams wants. The football was good, but a good variety. Not overly possession heavy, but that grit, determination. So maybe that'll be a real moment to look back on in a few weeks' time if they can get some points on the board before the end. I think this might be a draw actually, and seems strange to say that given that there's so much on the table for Sheffield Wednesday, but I'm going to go for a 1-1 here.
I really like Danny Roll. We both really like Danny Roll, to be fair. And I think he's going to go on a Danny Roll at some point and win, I don't know, score 7 points in 3 games at some point between now and the end of the season. So maybe it starts here. I'm going to go for Wednesday to win this one, Sam, by 2-1. Sheffield Wednesday 2, Swans 1. Here's an interesting one. Southampton versus Middlesbrough. You have the feeling that if Middlesbrough want to at any point during this run-in, that could really screw somebody in terms of playoffs, relegation, automatic promotion, etc., and show up and just beat someone. They've got it in them. Are they going to do it against Southampton? Possibly not, but I am going to ask you whether I may have a bonus point if I call this a Desmond. Southampton 2, Borough 2. What do you reckon?
Yeah, you can have that, mate. Yeah, I'm running out of time, aren't I, for mine?
So I'm going to play my bonus, and it's Desmond for me, Saints Borough.
Okay. Yeah, it feels like Middlesbrough have got a fuller complement of players now. I know they've been kind of struggling with absentees, and I'm with you. They can hurt teams, can't they? Because we know they've got good players and they've got a good coach, and there's that inconsistency to throw in there as well. So they're very capable. But I think Southampton will win this one. I think it'll be open. I'll go for Southampton to win by 3-1.
And the 5:30 kickoff, Sam, you're up first. Blackburn versus Ipswich.
God, this is tricky. I don't think Ipswich drop points here. And I don't think Blackburn get their survival mission on track here. I'm going to go for Ipswich to win at Blackburn by 1-0.
Ipswich don't keep clean sheets, and Sammy Smodic is very good. So I will go for Blackburn to score, but Ipswich to get the job done here. I think they're going to be in it until the last couple of games, Ipswich. I don't see a drop-off starting yet. So I'm going to go 2-1 to Ipswich. Blackburn 1, Ipswich 2. And seeing us out on the TV on Good Friday are Leeds United, Watford versus Leeds. Sam, Tom Cleverley, great career, huge fan of him, but I just think Daniel Farke's going to eat him alive, to be honest, on that touchline. Watford 0, Leeds 3.
Well, after you saying that, I don't know if my bonus point can be given here, but I'm thinking along the same lines, actually. I just think there's so much more to play for, clearly. I'll give you Watford 1, Leeds 4 for my bonus point.
For a bonus point, yeah, that works for me. 5 goals will always get you a bonus point. And what will always get you our respect, Sam, is if you get involved down there in the comments with your own predictions. Score yourself as well. Don't take it too seriously. And we are about to get our heads into another round of predictions. So Don't forget to head over in the weekend. There will be another predictions video, which we're right about to record right about now. So get across with that one. Like, subscribe, and don't forget to support Match Bingo as well. Predictions in the comments. See you soon.